Alright, welcome to our 2022 Wildwood XL 273 QBXL. Start right in the back bumper here. If you just kind of reach in, pull that cap out of there. Inside of the bumper, we've got your sewer hose. Just take note of those two adapters right there on those two ears and the adapter there. That's how I'll be hooking it up to your sewer system. The hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long, and we're just keeping it stored in the bumper here just to help keep any sort of stench out of the trailer and keep things that little bit cleaner for you. Cap just presses back into place, and as we take a step forward right here in the corner, as well as in each corner of the trailer, you're going to find these stabilizer jacks. So what they're going to do is they're just going to run down, contact the ground, give them another turn or so just to firm them up, and they'll just get rid of any sort of bounce or sway that you see you got in the unit right now. Just keep things firmly planted for you while you're out camping. Additionally to the stabilizers, you've got your JT strong arms here. So you just have that little T-latch there. So whenever you're running your stabilizers up or down, you just want to make sure that that T-latch is loosened off, allowing these bars to telescope in and out. And then once they're down completely, you just lock them down, and they'll just help with any sort of forward and back movement, keeping things really firm. Up from there, we're going to find your little power ports. As you pop that open, you'll see you got a little notch in the bottom right corner there. It's going to line up with this notch here. So as you press that in, give it a little eighth turn, locks it into place, then you can lock that threaded collar down to really lock it into place. Following the cord back, you're going to find a standard 30 amp end. Most campsites are going to have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. Just make sure that little blue light's on there, just ensures that you got good power. And if you get that red one, you just got a power issue, so you'll want someone at the site to come and check that out for you. Down below that, we got your sewer system, so you can't really tell because it's dirty right now, but on the left here we got a black valve, on the right we got a gray. That gray valve is controlling your gray tank, black valve is controlling your black tank. Black tank is filled from your toilet, so that's going to be your dirtiest water. So when it comes to dumping out your tanks, you're going to want to pull that black tank first, allow that to drain itself out completely. Once that's done, we'll come then to the gray. Gray tank is filled from your sinks as well as your showers, so typically cleaner water. We'll dump that last just to help keep that hose as clean as possible. For your hose, you're just going to be taking this cap here and kind of give it a little push in and turn it off. Then as you pull it out of there, you can see you get the same adapters there that you had on your sewer hose. So you just be pressing it in, give it that turn, clicks into place, and there you have it. Making my way down the side of the trailer here, right to the front. We got your one storage compartment here. So as you open that up inside, we're going to find our weight distribution hitch. The customer has opted to go with one of these hitches here, so we just got that stored in here. The storage compartment does see straight through to the other side, and it is also accessible from your bedroom inside. I'll show you that once we get there. Around front of the unit. So up on the frame here, you're just going to find a little battery disconnect. So you can see that guy pointed up. That is it turned on. As we turn that counterclockwise, we can pull it right out of there, and that's your battery obviously disconnected from the unit. Once you're ready to go camping again, just make sure that's turned all the way in and clicked into place. That's your battery turned on. Battery itself is housed inside of this battery box here. So as long as you're plugged into that short cord in the back or your 7-pin into your tow vehicle, that battery is charging for you. These two knobs here, if you just loosen those off, push them back, you can open up this flap and you get access to your propane tanks. For the video, I'll pull this off. And then you can see you got your two valves there. You're just going to open it up, run off of one tank. Once that one's done, just flip over to the other tank and get this one filled while you're running off of the other. Up front, you're going to find a power tongue jack. So up top, we've got a light switch. Turn that on. Up is up and down is down. Super simple. On the other side, you've got the other end of your storage compartment here. So inside of here, you've got a little laundry chute that is accessible from inside. They also provide you with a water hose and a 15 amp adapter. So your 30 amp short cord will plug into there, 15 amp into a household outlet. So if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, you got the power to do so. Also up in here, up on the wall, we've got some manual overrides. So this one kind of right that I'm holding on here, that's going to just be for running all of your little T-latches on the strong arms. The bigger one kind of hiding back here, that's a manual override for your front tongue jack if that would ever give up on you. And then the little one down by the floor is just a little jack for running all of your stabilizers. Also this compartment here, that is a dry erase surface. So if you got some markers, you can make some notes there. And making our way back. Got your hot water tank here, so you just get that one keyway there. You're just going to line that up. Pop it on open, and then you get the two little tabs in the bottom there. They just hold into the bottom of this cover there. Just hold it in there for you. Turning it on with electricity, you just get a little switch down here, turn it on, and that's it turned on. Before you ever turn it on though, you just want to hit this pressure relief valve there, open that up. If it were full, you get a little bit of water dripping out of there, just letting you know you are in fact full and you're safe to fire it up. If you're not getting any water out of there, you're going to want to go inside, make sure all of your water's turned on, make sure you're getting water out of there before you turn it on, just so that you're not running a risk of burning anything out. And once we get inside and turn it on propane, I'm just going to go over a reset procedure, and the button that I'll refer to is just right here. So like I said, just lining up those two bottom tabs, press it into place, lock it down with the keyway, and there you have it. Right beside it, we've got your freshwater tank fill. So you just got this cap here, you're just gonna pop that off, take your water hose, stick it into there, turn on the water, that'll fill up your freshwater tank. Down underneath is your freshwater drain, so you just get this gate valve here, you just pull that back and the tank will drain itself out. Up from there, we've got your two exterior speakers here, so they do both light up. I'll show you that switch once you get inside. Right here, just got a little vent. So of course, propane stove, whenever you're using it, is putting off fumes. So you just want to make sure that this vent here is opened up with your fan inside turned on, allowing said fumes to make their way out. Once you're done and ready to go traveling, if you just kind of take this flap and press it into place, you can feel it kind of click in. It just prevents any sort of dust from kicking up in there. Here we've got your exhaust for your furnace. So of course, if you're ever running your furnace, you just want to make sure nothing's blocking that off. It does get hot. Towards the back, we've got a cable and satellite outlet. So coax cable plug into there, fire up at your TV. Down below is a power outlet. So if you're looking to actually have a TV out here, you got the power to do so. Low point drains here. So right underneath, you got a couple of valves there, hot and cold water. Purpose of those being if you're leaving the trailer for a while and you don't want your water going stale or stagnant, you can just open up those valves, allow the water to drain himself out. Also, it'd just be for winterization. You just want to get all that water drained out before you start pumping the antifreeze through. And here you've just got your exterior kitchen. Open that up, you get a little magnetic latch, holds it open. You get a 120 volt fridge, so as long as you're plugged in, this guy's going for you. Inside of the fridge, we've just got this hose stored for you as well. So you're just gonna see two little ears there on the end. We'll pop open this port here. You see it's got two little notches there. We'll just line those up with the ears, press it in, give it a little 1/8 turn, and that locks it into place. And that just ties it right in with your cold line. So you just have the kind of garden hose with all the different settings at the end and cold water. Once you're done, you're just gonna kind of press it in, give it that 1/8 turn, it'll unlatch itself. And then before you put it away, just kind of fully extend it and just allow any sort of water that's in there to drain its way out. Stuff it back in here. And beside it, we've got your griddle. So that guy just pulls on out. Once you do have it out, there's a little latch back here. So if you just kind of push that over and lock it down, it just prevents itself from sliding back closed. Propane hose here. So you just got your quick connect collar. You're just gonna pull that back. You can see it disconnects itself. And then right in the back of the unit here. Drop that down, get your attachment there. Pull that collar back, attach that into place. And then to the back of the unit. Got a dust cap here, you're just gonna pull that off. So you get the same quick connect back here, you just pushing that collar back, putting your hose into place, locking it in. There we go. Once you have it locked in, you got this valve here, so you can open up the flow of propane. That valve is also an additional safety, so with that valve opened up, you cannot undo that quick connect. Once you have that all set up and you got the flow of propane turned on, you can come to your knob here, press it in, turn it over and past light. Now you don't want to hold it past light for too long, just because you do kind of run the risk of filling that thing up with propane and then it kind of flames out once it does light up. So you're just going to go kind of not constant but steadily, just making sure that you're giving it that try, right? And then once we're done, we're of course just turning it off. We'll pull the propane line out of the back right here and drop it down. Close off the flow of propane here. Pull that guy out of there. And then I just like to connect this hose to itself, just ensures that absolutely nothing's getting in there. And I'll put the dust cap back on the back here. Stuff the hose in with our griddle, undo our latch, and we just slide it back away. And there you have it. Close this all back up. And then the back of the unit here. Got of course your spare tire. City water connection down here, so as you pop that cap off, your water hose will just plug into there, turn on the water, and it'll pressurize the water lines throughout the unit. Beside that, we've got a black tank flush. So you may notice over time you've dumped your black tank, you know for a fact it is empty, but your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically that's some debris inside of your tank just hanging between the two probes causing that misread. So what you can do is grab your water hose, plug it into here, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank. Sorry, before you turn on the water, you want to open up your black valve too, turn on the water, and then that'll flush out your tank, getting rid of any sort of debris that could cause your issue. Above that, we got a cable and satellite inlet, so just a coax cable plug in, fire up your TV location, super simple. And then lastly, just straight up top, front and center there, you've got a pre-wired mount for an observation camera. We'll just make our way inside. So as we open up the door, it is on a friction hinge, so it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. Then the stairs, you got that blue handle there, you're gonna pull that over to unlatch it, and then the stairs just gonna fall on out. Make our way in, and first things first, right in on the left is your fire extinguisher. Just standard, pull the pin, point, and shoot. Up from there, we've got this dimmer switch here, so as we touch that, it'll turn on all of your interior lights. If we press and hold that, you'll see them dim. It'll come down to full dim off, and then it comes back up to full dim on. So bottom right, this switch here, if we press the bottom of that, that's your slide out. Sorry, if we press the top of that, that's your slide out. Press and hold, and the slide will make its way out. Once that slide's fully extended, you're just going to hear some whines from the motors as they square themselves up, and they'll turn themselves off, and that'll be that. And there we go. On the left here is your awnings. Press and hold the top of that and the awning will make its way out. Once that awning is fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down, and then you'll also see the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to want to stop. If you're to continue extending, it will actually wind itself up backwards, in which case our fabric will be underneath our tube, allowing it to then hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. So that flap will be coming down any second now. There it is there. And there's the black of our tube, and we'll stop right there. Now if it were to start raining, it's of course going to be holding water anyway, so what you can do is grab either arm, front or rear, pull down on it, and you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. If you like that angle better, because it does give you more shade, you can do the same thing with the arm in the front. Before you bring it back in though, you just want to make sure these guys are back out straight and fully extended, just so that we're not running the risk of bending anything. Now we're going to come back in, press and hold the bottom of that switch, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, we're just watching, making sure that our fabric is over top of the tube. And one more thing to keep in mind with your awning is once you get up to about 15-20 kilometers an hour wind, it is just catching that wind a lot. So you want to bring it back in, again, just so that you're not running the risk of bending your arms. Alright, so while we're waiting for that to come in, we got all your light switches along the middle here. So the switch on the right there, that does a little accent light above your slide. The switch on the left does your awning light outside. Center left here, you've got your water heater switch. So if you turn that on, you get that little red light up there letting you know the ignition sequence will start. Once that light goes out, that means the ignition sequence has started. It'll try that 3 times. If after that third try that light comes on, it's letting you know it hasn't fired up. So at that point, that light will be staying on. At that point, we'll go out and use that reset button that we'd shown you. Sat right here, you can hear the whir of the flame and the ignition and the clicks of the ignition. We know that thing's good. On the left side there, you got your water pump switch. So turn that on, turns on your water pump, drawing out of your freshwater tank to pressurize your lines. Up top, we got your monitor system. So battery here on the left. So battery, you can see we're currently C for charging. G would be good, F is fair, L is low. So because we're plugged in, we're currently C for charging. Fresh tank in the center here. So as you fill that up, that'll go to 1/3, 2/3 and full. Same idea for your black and your gray. Up top, you can see you are pre-wired for a solar panel. So if you wanted to have that installed, your controller box would go right there. Got a GFI projected outlet there, right above the sink, or I guess by the sink, you get a little light there. Lights are all just on their own center push buttons, as well as the lights throughout your living room, so you can turn those off individually if you wanted to. Open up this cabinet here, a little bit of storage space. That decal right there, if you were to just scan that barcode, brings you to Forest River's website and all of their information for this specific unit. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course, mobile head with the folding cover. Bit of storage down below, just being mindful of our drains and our water lines, of course. If you're looking for access to your hot water tank for winterization or summerization purposes, right behind this panel here, you'll find it right there. And I will be sure to re-secure that guy for you. Couple of drawers here, a little bit of drawer space storage. And up top we got your microwave. It's pretty standard, just like home. Not much I'm going to teach you there. Below that we got your range vents, you get your light here as well as your fan. So of course that's the fan that you want turned on whenever you got your stove on, evacuating all of our fumes. The bifold cover just flips on back. And once you have it opened up, you can turn your knob over to high, hit it with a sparker, and you see she fires right up. Now the first time you go to use your propane system, especially if you've been away from the trailer for a while, it can take a minute to fire it up just because it's got to clear all the air out of the propane lines. That is normal. Once we're done, just turning them all back off and closing it back down. For your stove, you got the knob on the right here, so you're going to turn that over to the little flame, press and hold, open up the stove, and then we can hit it with a sparker. And as soon as it clears the air out of that line, There we go. So once you get that flame going, you just want to press and hold for another couple of seconds, then you can release and the flame will hold itself. Then you can just turn up to your desired temperature and she fires right up. Once we're done, we can turn that back down to just pilot and it'll hold just the pilot light for us. However, if we're going traveling or leaving the trailer for a while, you just want to make sure that's right off. This little button to the side of that oven switch, if you press that, just does all of your knob lights as well as the stove lights. Down below here, I believe that is access to your water pump, so if you're looking again for winterization, just right down there. Return air for your furnace here, so you just don't want to be blocking that off. Up above it, we've got a 12-volt fridge, so as long as your battery's charged or charging, this fridge is going for you. We've got temp selection right across the top there, and then the freezer compartment up top. Up on the wall here, you've got your thermostat. So press that bottom bar, kind of wake it up. Press it again, it'll come into our fan speed. So fan low is just moving air. There's no cooling involved in that. It's just using the low fan. Fan high, same thing, just moving air, but using the high fan. After fan, it'll come into cool high. So at this point, the compressor will cut in and out as needed, leaving the high fan on all the time. Same idea with low. So the compressor in and out as needed, low fan all the time. Once we come into cool low auto, that's the point where it becomes an on-demand system. So both the fan and the compressor will cut in and out as needed, but only ever using the low fan. Cool high auto will of course just use the high fan on demand. Temp selection is just with your arrows there. And with the air conditioner going, you basically got two different options. You can have these two louvers here closed, in which case we're using all of our ceiling ducting to move our air, or you can open them up and it just dumps all of its air into the living room here. So when you first get out to your campsite, you want those open, cool off this area as quickly as possible, and then close them off to move the air throughout. After cool high auto, if we hit that bar again, we'll come down into heat. We'll turn off the air conditioner and turn on our furnace. The furnace will be moving its air through a bunch of kind of wall portals that we'll have throughout the unit here. You got one kind of by your, two by your entrance actually. Now the first couple of times you use that furnace, you might get a little bit of a smell throughout the trailer. That is perfectly normal. After heat, if we hit that guard again, come down into off, and then it just cycles back around. Straight down from there, you've got your LP detector. So propane's heavier than air, it'll sit on the floor. This guy will detect it and start going off just like a smoke detector would. In your dinette, this is a very kind of adaptive dinette. You can use it for whatever you want, really. You've of course got your dinette table here where you can pop your legs out of. You're just pushing that up, pulling the legs out. And then you can see it's got the little pedestal there that it would sit down into and prop itself up. Also, you've got this little piece here which pulls on up. You can see it's got a couple of stakes there. There was a couple of pockets back here that it sits in as well. If we move this cushion kind of out of the way a bit, you can see we got another pocket there. There's another one just kind of hidden in the back here. Then you're going to take this little filler right here, stick that in there, put this one up to it, and you can kind of extend your couch. The couch does also fold down to become its own bedding area, and you can have it as just a full bedding area if you like. It's really a lot of fun to play around with. Once we're done, we can pick up the foot of this couch here, give the back a little bit of encouragement. She comes right around. These are all just Velcros, they just pull back. And this guy, like I said, is just in a pocket, so up, flip it over. And there's your dinette again. Right. So you get some cubby space underneath the bed here, or this couch, whatever. You get your three cubbies there. Same idea underneath your dinette. So now I'll make our way into the bathroom here. So the light switch is just up on the left. You got your GFI protected outlet back here, so test on the bottom, reset up top. So if you ever have outlets that don't work, it's the first thing you should check. Your toilet's here, flush is just on the right side. Straight up from there, you're gonna find your roof vent. Just got that knob there, turn it to open it up. And then in the back corner, we got a switch, turns on the fan. And then behind me, you've got our medicine cabinet. So as you open that up, you can see you get this little tongue latch right there. And you also get this little elastic over here. It's kind of your travel latch. Hot and cold water at the sink, of course. A little bit of storage down below, being mindful of our drains and water lines. And then for your shower, The curtain is just kind of on the magnet, so it just sits wherever you leave it. Close, open, hot and cold water, of course, standard head and hose. Okay. So now back here you get a little bit of closet storage, pantry space, whatever you want to use it for. And down below that we got your converter. So if you press the top and center, it pops on open. You get all of your breakers down the middle here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it's going to sit in the middle, so just turn it off and then back on. And then on the right side we get all of your fuses. Whenever a fuse pops, you're going to get a little red LED right beside it letting you know exactly which one went. And then into the bunk room back here. So lights throughout, just on their own center switches. The emergency exit here, you're pulling this red tab to get rid of the screen, and then taking this red handle down here, throwing that outside and hopping on out. Down below, very similar, you just got the little light there, USB charging. You also got a light over here. And then this couch right here, the sofa, is the exact same as the one up front. It does just flip down to give you kind of that bonus bedding area. And then right behind us here, we've got another emergency exit. So same thing, red tab to get rid of the screen, handle outside and hop on out. Do have a TV backer here, as well as a cable and satellite outlet, power outlet, and a USB charging. And lastly, just a little bit of storage space down there. And I do believe that is about it for this guy. So if you've got any other questions on the unit, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.